The following is a slightly historical series on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms era of China's history. Because this is based off of a video game, and myself playing it, there will be a lot of incorrect information that we will correct using the help of Wikipedia. For those of you who want to learn more about Dynasty Warriors, or the Romance of the Three Kingdoms era, I suggest reading the book. Please enjoy the following presentation.
But for right now, we're going to end the evening with Pang De. This accomplished warrior is from the Liang province, along with Ma Tong and Ma Chao. Nothing flashy, he prefers to just get the job done.
Pang De. Pang De.
Pang De, courtesy name Ling Ming. He was from Huandao County, Nan'an Commandery, Liang Province, which is located east of present-day Longji County, Gansu. In his youth, he served as an assistant officer in the local commandery office. During the Chu Ping era, in the reign of Emperor Jian, the Liang Province rebellion broke out. Pang De joined the warlord Ma Teng in suppressing the revolts by the Qiang and Di tribes. So, funnily enough, that battle that we did with Dong Zhuo, he was there, but I don't think he was fighting against Dong Zhuo. Let me actually reread Dong Zhuo's thing here. He was reinstated and sent to suppress the rebels. While suppressing the rebellion, Dong Zhuo had several tactical disagreements. So, Dong Zhuo was sent to suppress the rebels, and he also suppressed the rebels. So, in the video game, they were on opposite sides, but they were actually on the same side in real life, just probably fighting from different areas. He was promoted to colonel for his contributions in battle.
I am Pang De. I intend to bring peace back to my land of Liang, along with the mighty Ma Teng and Ma Chao as my allies. We recently fought alongside Dong Zhuo to rid the land of the Yellow Turbans. However, that same Dong Zhuo is now a bigger problem for Liang than the Yellow Turbans ever were.
This is pretty interesting that we're doing this early battle, because I don't remember doing that for Ma Chao.
Although he may have been our friend in the past, he has now turned against us. We have no choice but to eliminate him.
Hey, we're off to meet up with the coalition and overthrow Dong Zhuo. We'll make that villain pay for all the suffering he's caused in our home of Liang. I will take down Dong Zhuo's bases. Pang De, I'm leaving protection of our main camp up to you. When that time comes, we'll join together and launch an all-out attack. The land of Liang is our home. We won't just stand here and watch it destroyed by the whims of Dong Zhuo. Let's go, Pang De. We'll protect our home with our own hands.
So, this battle is a very oversimplification, obviously, of what happens, like with a lot of other battles. From my 20-minute crash course in trying to learn what this rebellion was about, basically, Han had control over this area. The Han government had control over this area. The native peoples rose up in rebellion. Dong Zhuo was sent to suppress that rebellion. Eventually, they could not suppress the rebellion, so they slowly gave up on it and, had a lot of tough times doing it. And the rebel leaders eventually, through infighting and illness, all died out, leaving Ma Tong, Han Sui, and a few others to basically rebel against the rebellion that was already happening, reclaim control for themselves, and eventually restore peace over here. Because what I'm looking at, I don't think there was an actual clash between Dong Zhuo and the forces of Ma Teng. I don't really know how to pronounce it. And it's, again, just an oversimplification of what happened here, because it looks like rebellion pops up like the yellow turbans. Dong Zhuo sent to suppress it. He can't, so he leaves. And then Ma Chao's dad rebels against the rebels. So it's kind of like an explosion within itself. If any kind of historian is watching this and I got that completely wrong, let me know. But again, this is my crunch crash course that I seem to have found myself in, because it's funny too, on the Wikipedia page, belligerents, Han Dynasty versus Han Rebels, which, I mean, if they're both for the Han, why are they fighting? Because that's kind of what's happening here in this battle in the video game. Alright, but let's finally jump into it. Holy cow, I learned more about Chinese history today than I ever thought I would.
We have brought an end to the tyranny of Dong Zhuo. Now the lands of Liang may return to a life of peace. This just goes to show that the warriors of Liang are not to be trifled with.
So the funny thing about this rebellion too is, like I mentioned earlier, Ma Teng was, you know, not rebelling against Dong Zhuo or the Han government, but he was rebelling against the rebels, if I understand it correctly. The thing is too, the rebellion was never snuffed out and he was able to come to power because at the same time, Emperor Ling died, and that caused, you know, the forces trying to suppress this rebellion to go back, and then that's when Dong Zhuo did all of his dirty work. Thus, and this is a quote from the Wikipedia, by the end of the year, civil insurrection had spread across China and the Liang province rebellion became subsumed as an outlying disturbance in the fragmentation of the Han dynasty. So it's not like that this was this or the yellow, well, maybe the Yellow Turban Rebellion, but this was just another nail in the coffin. And then once all the other nails came in, it was like, oh look, there's the Liang Rebellion. And then nobody really cares about this one compared to the Yellow Turbans and what happened with Dong Zhuo. So it's kind of funny that the game, or rather, it's understandable that the game is framing it in this way as, you know, the Liang peoples against Dong Zhuo, who was, you know, just big, ugly, mean warlord guy. But in reality, Dong Zhuo was acting on the orders of the Han government. And when he, like I said in the Dong Zhuo episode, when he had the opportunity to seize power for himself, he took it. And it's like, well, who cares about this little rebellion up here in the Northwest? He's the Emperor of China now.
However, the land is vast. It is only a matter of time before another Dong Zhuo rises to threaten the land. We must prepare ourselves for when that time comes.
So of the people that rose up in Liang, Song Jian distanced himself from the conflict in China, proclaimed himself to be king of the sources of the river who will pacify Han, and ruled the region of Fuhan and Heguan in isolated autonomy for almost 30 years. On the other hand, Han Sui and Ma Teng became involved in wider affairs of the empire, starting with their reconciliation with Dong Zhuo, who asked for their support to deal with the coalition against him. After Dong Zhuo died in May, his retainers Li Jue and Guo Si seized power and gave Han Sui and Ma Teng positions of general who maintain the West in peace and general who subdues the West, respectively, thereby granting the two rebel leaders official recognition.
Dong Zhuo fled Liang and disappeared. Later, we heard he began his reign of terror anew in Luoyang, and was soon ousted by a coalition of powerful regional lords.
Yeah?
Thus is the fate of a warrior who indulges in his desires and abuses his power. A warrior must be able to take control of himself and perform as best as he possibly can. Now Cao Cao has come to Guan Yu, seeking to destroy us. I shall see just how he fares against me and my twin halberds.
So this is jumping ahead in time. In 202, the warlord Cao Cao, who controlled the Han central government, led his forces to attack rival warlords Yuan Tan and Yuan Shang at the Battle of Liyang. When Yuan Tan ordered his subordinates Guo Yuan and Gao Gan to lead separate force to attack Hedong Commandery, Cao Cao ordered Zhong Yao to recruit forces from Liang province to deal with Guo Yuan and Gao Gan. Ma Teng responded to Zhong Yao's call and sent his son Ma Chao and Pang De to assist Zhong Yao in attacking Guo Yan and Gao Gan. So, we're not skipping to the Battle of Tong Pass just yet, but even before the Battle of Tong Pass, Pang De and Ma Chao both worked under Cao Cao for just a little bit. Pang De led the vanguard, slew Guo Yuan in the midst of battle, and took his head, without knowing that the man he killed was Guo Yuan. After battle, when Zhong Yao's men searched the battlefield, they found Guo Yuan's headless body. Shortly after, Pang De went to meet Zhong Yao and threw Guo Yuan's head in front of him. Zhong Yao cried when he recognized Guo Yuan's head because Guo was actually his nephew. Pang De immediately apologized, who replied, "Even though Guo Yuan was my nephew, he was an enemy of the state. Why do you apologize?" For his contributions, Pang De was appointed as general of the household and made a marquis of a chief village. Later, Pang De followed Ma Teng to suppress a rebellion by the Zhang Baiqi at Yao County. Now we get to the Battle of Tong Pass.
Tang Day, it is time for us to work together in battle once again. Our enemy is Cao Cao, who has raised a large force in the Central Plains. He wants to capture Guangzhou and is already marching for Tong Gate.
Around 211, Ma Chao started a rebellion against the Han central government and led a coalition of warlords from Liang province to attack Cao Cao, leading to the Battle of Tong Pass. Cao Cao would defeat Ma Chao and his allies at the battle and cause the coalition to break up.
Cao Cao is the cold-blooded killer who executed my father and the other members of our clan who tried to oppose him. For the honor of our people, we must take our revenge.
It is true. I know I corrected myself later in the Ma Chao episode, but I'll do it again here. Ma Chao's father, Ma Teng, and a couple of other guys that were in the capital at the time were executed by Cao Cao. I don't remember the reason why, but they were indeed executed.
We will stand united in our anger and repel Cao Cao's army at Tong Gate. Pang Day, we will need to use all of our strength if we're to win this fight.
Cao Cao. They call you a villain and a tyrant. But I must admit, I do not see that.
You seek to judge me on this battlefield? You interest me. Pang Day, will you come and serve me?
This is not an invitation I can accept. Above all else, I am a warrior of Guangzhou. Therefore, you are my enemy.
I defeated Cao Cao's army, but somehow Cao Cao himself managed to get away. Our allies are searching frantically for him, but...
After Cao Cao defeated Ma Chao and his allies at the Battle of Tong Pass, he caused the coalition to break up. Despite the defeat, Ma Chao, with assistance from the Qiang tribes and the warlord Zhang Lu in Hanzhong Commandery, continued to ravage the lands in Liang province and even seized control of the governorship at one point. However, he was eventually driven out of Liang province and forced to take shelter under Zhang Lu in Hanzhong. Pang De accompanied Ma Chao to Hanzhong and became one of Zhang Lu's subordinates.
Oh well. Cao Cao is sure to show his face in Guangzhou again. I cannot imagine that he would give up on his ambitions so easily. And when that time comes, I'll be there to greet him.
In 215, Ma Chao defected to the warlord Liu Bei and aided him in the seizing of control of Yi province. Pang De remained in Hanzhong with Zhang Lu. Later that year, Cao Cao led his forces to attack Hanzhong and defeated Zhang Lu in the Battle of Yangping. Pang De joined Zhang Lu in surrendering to Cao Cao. As Cao Cao has heard Pang De's valor, He immediately recruited him as his subordinate and appointed him as general who establishes righteousness. Pang De was also enfeoffed as the marquis of a Guanmen village and given 300 taxable household.
We were victorious at Tong Gate, along with the other warriors from Guanzhong. However, I saw just how powerful Cao Cao was and decided to join his army. This move has made Ma Chao and me enemies, but a warrior must be true to his feelings and follow wherever they lead. I have no other choice. A new life as a Wei officer has begun for me. Our next battle will take place at Hefei. The time to fight Wu has come as I set foot down this new and uncharted path.
So, like with another person we just played as, Cao Ren, we're gonna be doing a couple more battles that he wasn't actually at, but kind of establishes his lore as a defensive-minded person. Battle of Hefei is definitely the perfect place to do that. He was not actually at this battle, but the next time he is mentioned is at the Battle of Fan Castle, which should be happening after this, so let's just jump right in.
Pang De, I'm pleased to have you with us. I hope that you can show me the same valor you displayed at Tong Gate here at Hefei. Prove that you are worthy to stand by my side. Wu has begun to advance their army towards Hefei, knowing that our forces there are weak. I must hurry. Lead an army there to see to its defense. There are several bases located throughout Hefei. Take advantage of these to slowly proceed forward and pummel the enemy. Go, Pang De. Prove to me your loyalty and valor.
The Wu fleet is advancing north and will soon arrive here at Hefei.
The enemy outnumbers us greatly. It is too dangerous to risk an attack.
Victory in battle is not won through superior numbers. Guan Yu, Bi, remember them well. I, Zhang Liao, shall crush all those who oppose me.
A smaller force defeating a much larger army. That is the beauty of strategy. Wu must have thought they would win that battle, and are surely disappointed. We probably won't be hearing from them for a while. Now we must turn our attention to Liu Bei. But we won't be able to do anything until we've allowed some time for our current wounds to heal.
The Battle of Hefei ended in victory for Wei. With the strength of Wu diminished, I was sent to Mount Dingjun to fight against Shu. The land was now divided into three. Shu, led by Liu Bei, Wu, led by Sun Quan, and Wei, led by Cao Cao. It is believed that one of these men will eventually conquer all the land. It's hard to tell what the future holds. However, my purpose remains unaffected as long as I serve Wei. I am to destroy my enemies and win my battles.
Pang De, I am convinced of your skills and of your loyalty to me. I shall rely on you and your twin halberds to bring us glory in future battles as well. Our forces will hereby engage Liu Bei at Mount Dingjun. Since Mount Tiandang is already in their hands, this battle will determine who will ultimately control Guanzhong. I will leave the frontal defense of Mount Dingjun to Xiahou Yuan and his men. I want you to engage any enemy units that approach from the sides. If you see an opportunity to infiltrate their camp, go straight for Liu Bei's head. The strength of the Shu army was impressive, not enough to make a difference. We have seized total control of Hanzhong and hindered Shu's movements. If we seal off Mount Dingjun, then Shu will be unable to move. Should we continue and try to finish them off for good? Or should we turn our attention to dealing with Wu first?
The Battle of Mount Dingjun also ended in a Wei victory. However, Shu refused to yield and proceeded to attack Fan Castle in Jing.
This will bring us to Pang De's final and finest moment. In 219, when Hou Yin and Wei Kai started a rebellion in Wan, Cao Cao sent Pang De and Cao Ren to quell the uprising. After accomplishing their mission, they garrisoned at Fan, also called Fan Chong. As Ma Chao, Pang De's previous lord, and Pang Rou, Pang De's cousin, both served under Liu Bei, many of Cao Cao's other subordinates were suspicious of Pang De's alliance toward their lord, or allegiance towards their lord. Pang De often said, "I've received grace from the state and I'm willing to serve the state with my life in the name of righteousness. I'll personally slay Guan Yu. If I don't kill Guan Yu within this year, he'll kill me." As Pang De arrived in Fan, he battled the rebel forces and managed to slay the rebel leaders under Hou Yin and Wei Kai, who conspired with Guan Yu. As Pang De often rode a gray horse during the battle, so Guan Yu's men nicknamed him the White Horse General, which he famous for and feared him. Pang De later engaged Guan Yu in battle and fired an arrow, which hit Guan's forehead at one time, nearly killing him. Cao Ren ordered Pang De to set up a separate camp 10 li north of Fan. At the time, there were heavy rains for more than 10 days, and the Han River next to Fan burst its banks, with the water level reaching up to 5-6 zhang. Pang De and his subordinates retreated to the top of a dam. Guan Yu then led his marines to attack Fan and fired arrows from their warships at the dam. Pang De donned his armor, armed himself with bow and arrows, and returned fire at the enemy. Not a single arrow missing its target. When Dong Heng and Dong Chao, two of Pang De's colleagues, wanted to surrender, Pang De executed them on the spot. The battle dragged on from morning until afternoon, with Guan Yu's attacks increasing in intensity as time passed. By the afternoon, Pang De and his men had expended all of their arrows, but they continued to engage the enemy in close quarters combat with short weapons. Pang De told his subordinate Cheng He, "I heard a good general doesn't fear death, nor does he hope to be spared. A martyr won't violate his principles for the sake of preserving his life. Today is the day I die." The battle raged on as the water level rose higher. By then, many of Pang De's men had surrendered, leaving Pang with only 3 men. They boarded a small boat and attempted to escape and return to Cao Ren's main camp. However, the boat capsized and Pang De fell into the water. While grabbing onto the boat to stay afloat, he was surrounded and captured by Guan Yu's soldiers.
Finally, Liu Bei's trusted Guan Yu came to Jing, leading the attack. At last, the god of war himself has come to face me. In order to aid Cao Ren at Fan Castle, I have marched night and day. You must hurry. I shall take my twin halberds and protect my allies, while defeating my enemies.
It's kind of annoying he keeps saying his
Cao
weapons.
Ren shall serve as the commander for this battle at Fan Castle. I can only hope that he can fulfill his duties for our lord, who is far away in Shu Chang. The enemy commander is Guan Yu. He is likely to try and use the rain in his attack against us. Focus on holding your position and striking only when the time is right. Pang De, Fan Castle, and the lands of Jing are imperative to our cause. We cannot afford to lose either one of them. You must defend them with your life. Keep Shu at bay.
So now, Wu is begging for our help. So they fear Guan Yu that much. Guan Yu, this time, nobody can stop us. Not even you.
We defeated Guan Yu.
I had no particular grudge against him, but it is the duty of a warrior to defeat his opponent, no matter how great a hero he may be. I owe it to all of you that I was able to answer the call at that instant.
After Pang De was captured at the battle, he was brought before Guan Yu. He refused to kneel down and surrender. Guan Yu told Pang De, "Your cousin is serving in Hanzhong, and I want to recruit you as a subordinate. Why don't you surrender now?" Pang De retorted angrily, "Mean fellow, what is surrender? The king of Wei has thousands of troops, and his might trembles the empire. Liu Bei is an inferior man. How can he hope to resist? I'd rather be a ghost of the state than a servant of my enemy." An angered Guan Yu then had Pang De executed.
With this, we have managed to remove yet another obstacle in our Lord's path. I shall continue to serve loyally and fulfill my duties until an end is brought to this chaos.
It was during the final days of the year 200 AD when the Han Dynasty saw its end. Its demise ushered in a new era of chaos, brought on by several regional lords vying to rule China. There were those who sought absolute power, as well as those who fought for justice, and some simply fought for the sake of their beliefs. Many would rise and fall in their attempts to dominate the land. Pang De, from the land of Nan'an, a warrior who excelled at all levels of martial arts, he was quickly appointed as an official at his county office. He became well known for his prowess during the Yellow Turban Rebellion while serving Ma Teng. He accompanied Ma Chao following the death of Ma Teng. When Cao Cao moved to expand his territory after conquering the Central Plains, the two, along with their new allies in Guanzhong, went to stop him at Tong Gate. Cao Cao was impressed with the way Pang De fared against his powerful warriors. Having no place to go after the battle, Pang De surrendered to a welcoming Cao Cao. Because his friend Ma Chao joined Shu, many of the Wei officers distrusted Pang De. He had to earn their trust over time with his valor in battle. Following Cao Ren's orders, Pang De went to Fan Castle and engaged Guan Yu. He fought Guan Yu with everything he had, willing to give up his life if necessary. His valiant efforts eventually defeated Guan Yu and led Wei to victory. Not a single man doubted Pang De's loyalty any longer. He had become a distinguished warrior of Wei. He and his son, Pang Hui, fought and contributed to the greatness of Wei. These tales, long forgotten in the flows of time, are about the legends of which no one can recall.
Cao Cao was deeply grieved when he learned of Pang De's death, and he shed tears. In 220, after Cao Pi forced Emperor Jian to abdicate the throne and establish the state of Cao Wei, he granted Pang De the posthumous title Marquis Zhuang, which literally means robust marquis. He was ordered an emissary to read out the imperial edict at Pang De's tomb. According to the Shu Ji, by Wang Yin when the state of the Shu Han was conquered by the state of Cao Wei in 263. The Wei general Zhong Hui had Pang De's body transported from Shu to Ye in Wei territory. Pang De seemed much alive inside the tomb. However, Pei Zongxi, who annotated Pang De's biography in the Sangguo Shi, dismissed this account as nonsense. He wrote, Pang De died in Fanchang. After Cao Pi ascended the throne, he sent an emissary to read out an imperial edict at Pang De's tomb, so Pang's body should not be in Shu. What Wang Yin wrote was nonsense. This dude that pulled together all of these, this Pei Zongxi guy is like, don't listen to this motherfucker. He's an idiot. Screw that guy. After Pang De's death, 2 of his sons were granted marquis titles in recognition of their father's contributions. When Cao Pi ascended the throne, he granted the title of secondary marquis to each of Pang De's 4 sons and gave them each 100 taxable households as their marquis states. The names of Pang De's sons were not recorded in history except for one, Pang Hui. Pang Hui resembled his father in personality and served as a general in the Cao Wei state. The highest position he reached was Commandant General of the capital. He was also enfeoffed as a marquis. The Shu Ji recorded that he participated in the conquest of Shu in 263. After the fall of Shu, he exterminated Guan Yu's family and descendants to avenge his father.
Qing is ours. The rest will soon follow. All that's left is Wu and Shu. Pang De, your strength is just what I need to carry out my plans.
As you wish, my blade exists only to serve on the field of battle. I am led only by the tip of my trusted blade.
And that is the story. Pang De passed away valiantly in battle.